I'm very, very blessed because one of our members, one of our group, and this is a group of really well-defined directors, film experts as well. So one of our colleagues, Mark Foster, is that correct?
No.
Foster?
This man has been mispronouncing my name for the last 2 years.
Yeah, nothing changes. I can sort of got nothing changes. But in that period, we've developed a number of locations where we've been to.
Yeah.
We've been to
The House of Lords.
Yeah, we've done the House of Lords. We did a very good job on that. In fact, we did such a good job on it. They invited us back again last week, and once again, we did very well down there as well. So we've had the House of Lords. We've had basically a number of others. But what makes a group is the people. You are the most special things. Honestly, you are special because you're unique, and this is what made Mark and myself and Nathan and a lot of us at an instant can come over to an event and create something. And also the venue itself. The venue only knew about this event this morning after being reconfirmed. So I knew I had to do something. Thank you very much. Thank you. So there's a round of applause for the bar. Give them a round of applause. Otherwise we're not going to be back here again. Okay, now we'll kick off with Mark. Mark's our chairman, and Mark will describe a little bit about who he is and what he's been doing. And he's partner in crime who's so talented in commercial work, it really is Nathan, and Mark will introduce Nathan as well. So over to you, Mark. Give us all a little bit of the history of yourself and what makes films so special.
Okay.
Give him a round of applause, everybody.
Thank you very much. Okay. Yes, it's Mark Forstatter. He can't manage that. I don't expect him to, but maybe one day he'll introduce me with my name pronounced properly. It'd be amazing. This is Nathan Newman, who's my business partner. We made a film last year called Swipe Fever. And when we tried to sell it and distribute it, we realized how difficult it was for independent filmmakers. It's very hard, as you know, to raise money to make a film. But even after you make it, to distribute it is even harder. And so the situation is bad, and it's probably going to get worse because, as I understand it, Netflix is reducing the number of productions they're going to fund, and they want to increase licensing productions from other producers, which means that all the producers will have to raise the funding to make their films by themselves, however they can do it. And obviously, if you're a major studio or a big independent, or you've got funding from a bank or a hedge fund, you can get the funding together to make the film and license it to Netflix. But if you don't have that, I'm not sure where people will be able to raise money, because it's getting to the point where the only sources of revenue that exist will be theatrical releasing and streaming via a Netflix or an Amazon and television. I think there's still some revenue to come out of broadcast TV, but I don't know if it's that much. DVD has disappeared. So there are very few places to get the money back for making a movie. And I think that the future is not looking very good for independent production. So Nathan and I, after we had this problem of working out how to distribute our movie, and we have a plan, but we can't put it in place until we raise a lot of money, because we have a campaign that we want to use for Swipe Fever. We're going to make a Swipe Fever Day. We're going to make a big, a well-funded campaign to make people aware of it. That's the only way they're ever going to get to see this movie, is if we really big it up with a social media marketing and ads. So we then sat down and said, well, okay, what would we like it to be? What's a better system? What's a better theory, in fact? Because there's a man called David Deutsch, who's a professor of quantum computing. And he says a better theory always wins out. And the example he gives is Arabic numbers. He said Arabic numbers took over from Roman numerals because it was a better theory. It was easier to use. It was simpler to use. It worked. You know, to try and multiply Roman numbers is like, you know, you'd need a computer as big as the Earth. But his feeling is that if you have a good theory, the better theory will always win. And we think that we've invented a better theory. And Nathan will tell you about it. Hi.
Round of applause.
So we founded Dreambird, and we're set on evolving the film and TV industries. And the way that we're going to do that is by enabling the people who use our platform to fund, make, sell, experience, and socialize, all in one space. And we're able to do this because of new technology that has come around in the last couple of years. And we're constantly upgrading our technology as we go along as well. So we'd allow producers, filmmakers, enthusiasts, a way to reach investors all in one platform, and to connect with fans, people who like their projects, because fans have a lot of power in today's industry, in the market. We can see this with films like Sonic the Hedgehog that came out maybe 2-3 years ago. And people didn't like the way that the hedgehog looked. It didn't look like the one that we all know. It looked like some weird, skinny hedgehog that nobody recognized. So the fans basically decided, we hate this, we don't like this, and they all trolled all their trailers and everything until the production company decided, you know what, we have to change this. And they couldn't raise the money, and they found a way to raise the money through some product placement, and they changed it. But that's only because of the fans, because the fans said, we don't like this. So they did what the fans wanted. And we recognize this across maybe 5 or 6 other examples, that the fans have a lot of power today. And we see this with TikTok, we see this with YouTube. People request of the creators what they want to see, and the creators make it for them, and they're happy, and it keeps going that way. So we are putting all of this kind of synchronicity between the fans and the creators on our platform. At the same time, we're creating tools where people can use all kinds of new gaming technologies and AI, and we're simplifying the whole thing so that you can create movies entirely online, and you have complete control. So it's not like a prompt-based. It's like you actually can build your own film world, and you can film in there. You can sell because there's going to be distributors there. We have our own distributor network. We have a studio. Mark has been making films for a very long time, and we will be providing all those resources to our users. People can stream, and our streaming goes beyond like a traditional stream on a Netflix. You can interact with your friends, you can chat, you can have a live chat, you can have a live stream. You can interact with movies. There can be movies which can have multiple different choices beyond a Bandersnatch or that dating movie that they did. In fact, in our film, you can control an entire character and experience it like kind of a hybrid between a movie and a video game. And the social part is that you can actually connect with anyone on the platform. You can talk to them. There's an open space. There's forums. You can find a job as a crew member. There can be we're going to have wanted cards where people can say, I want a camera guy for here. I want a sound guy for here. People can apply for those roles. Same for writers, for directors, for producers. And we provide all the tools, the resources needed for anybody who's just interested or is just starting out or doesn't know how to have a film business or a TV business. They can have all the contracts. They can have all the ways, the steps, 1, 2, 3, how to get there. And that's really what Dreambird is. And this year we're really set on making it happen. We've been at it for a couple of years now, and we're hoping that this year will be the one that we launch.
Yes, Chet. Thank you.
Now we've got these 2 directors on stage, and they've talked about Dreambird and also 1 or 2 films that they've done. I'm going to open it to the floor for 2 questions. So That hand went up so fast, I didn't even finish the first question. So can we have you to give your first question, then we'll have one question at the front as well. So if you want to come to the front for me, come to the front. Here we go. Tell everybody who you are and what you do, and then ask the question, please.
Sure.
No, yeah. You're going to have to come closer.
Okay. So my name is Asad Khan, and I've been in film distribution for about a good 7 years. Before that, I was an exhibitor. What I heard from Marcus, it was very sad to know that independent does not have any future. I say independent feature film does have future, depends on the film. Very much so. So first, my question would be, what genre was it? Because I'm working with a couple of independent filmmakers on British side of it right now. One is Faith, one is Keith Mason, one is a boxing film right now. We released film in the Middle East, and I've been doing a lot of independent genre, and since I've been in London, I've been attending BFI South Bank, London Indian Film Festivals, and many others as well. Number one thing is depending on the film, how good the film is made. Number one. Number two is how.
One question.
So the question that BFI South Bank is also have a funding available for the British films to release as well, too, depending how do you go about it. But independent film, number one question is, how is it done? What the distributors are, and then where are you going with it? That's what, yeah.
Thank you. That was a very, very good question. Don't disappear. Okay, get your phone out for a second. Give your phone number to Mark and Nathan.
Yeah.
Give the number out. Do it now.
Okay.
Do the exchange. The reason being, I love the question. So the first question is the genre of the film and also the BFI side. So the second question, can we have the second question asked as well? Come to the front. Please give your name and the question.
Hi, my name is Nick Cahan, and I've been in this industry for the last 8 years. And I
You look
agree
so
with this
young.
gentleman that independent filmmaking do have a future, but it depends how we approach about it. Because I'm also an independent filmmaker, and I'm trying to find a different way all the time. Every problem comes with a solution. You just have to find the solution.
So what's the question?
The question is, when Mark said, it sounds me to kind of in a virtual studio, right? So, of course, I'm assuming you're going to be using AI to get that in place. And that if the people are making films on virtual studio, how about the human emotion? And how about the kind of emotions we want to see in the films as a reality? How are you going to bring that through the virtual studio?
Very good question. Stay at the front. You're going to exchange numbers as well with Mark. Okay, so the first question was genre of film and what does the BFI South Bank, if people don't know what the BFI South Bank is, it's the British Film headquarters at the South Bank. That's what it is. And the question is in relation to distribution, what sort of funding is available down there as well. So Mark, Nathan, who would like to answer this question? You're on the spot.
I'll answer that one.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. Obviously, I'm not saying that there won't be any independent films. Independent films will get made, and as you say, some will be good and make money. Others may not be that good, may not make so much money. But overall, I think the level of independent production is not going to increase in the future that I think is coming.
They're not able to sell it, yeah.
They will decrease. I'm not saying there's not good independent films made, that there will be, but I think the whole level of film production will be lessened over the next few years, which means that film producers will have a harder time getting their films made. There'll be less films made and less distributed. Not because people don't want to make them or don't have good ideas. I think the structure of the industry is not in the favor of independent productions. That's the problem. In terms of the BFI, we've had some experience approaching the BFI. The BFI is a very woke organization. And if you are two Jewish guys like us, you won't get any money from the BFI. We're the wrong sex, we're the wrong religion, we're the wrong age. The BFI will fund certain films to be produced and to be distributed. They won't be ones that we make. They're also usually not ones that are commercially minded, like a boxing film. Unfortunately, the BFI has turned into a tick boxing organization. you know, as long as you can tick the right boxes, you might get some help from them. But if not, you won't, and that's very bad. I think there's not enough diversity in their diversity. That's my question.
Good answer, good answer. There we go. Give him a round of applause. Sometimes it's really hard to actually say when there's a problem with the organisation that's supposed to support you. I had the same thing with the FA. I had the same thing with the FSA for security, stocks and shares. And I had many, many arguments with them many, many times over their lack of support. Over to you, Nathan. The second question.
So, how do we get emotions with AI? At the moment, it's difficult, but the way that we're building our technology is similar to how when you watch a Disney film, like a Pixar movie, right? They have emotions. You can see it in the character's face. You can feel it in the voice of the actors. It's like when you play a video game. People get so immersed in video games, and some of them live there, so like permanently.
Now, my point towards is where you said Disney, and in Disney we have human voices when they are dubbing, right? And when they're making a film, it's all been taken from the human emotions because we have that technology. So as a person, as a human, you have to be in studio to act. But through the AI, I've heard about it earlier, that AI is going to take over. They're going to create clones or they're going to make things. But I have spoken to a few AI technicians, like the software developers or whatever, the tech guys. They said it's too far. It's not near it. We are not. That's all like maybe another 15, 20 years close to that. So that's my knowledge. Maybe I could be wrong.
That's fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic.
Another thing, the second thing what you mentioned is
Video games?
Video games, yes. So when it comes to video games, we can't compare video games with the movies according to me, because video games is something people who are get involved with that, it becomes an addiction, one. And the second is, again, you live in the video game world and it's bringing a stress to our society and it's bringing mental health problems as well. So if the movie going to bring the same thing, people are going to disappear from that industry. People are going to stop watching it because if they're too involved, because the concept you're talking about that the people are going to be able to watch movie and video game in the same time, right? That they're going to drive character themselves towards one situation as a character. So then writer's vision disappeared. It's not the writer's vision. It's not the director's vision, it's not the producer's vision, it's not the team's vision, it's a vision of the individual who's watching it. So then we lost the whole concept. Like,
I was going to stop at that point there because I'm on a very, very tight schedule, guys. Thank you very much. Give him a round of applause. Give him a round of applause.
You just mentioned that it's not all working. We just want to do one. Nathan wants to respond to that.
Okay.
So the thing about Dreambird is that those points are, they're your opinion, and I think, but the fact is that it's not entirely a virtual space. It's actually for real productions that you can do in the real world. That's the primary thing. The secondary thing is the virtual filmmaking studio, but we do actually focus a lot on, entirely on people. It's all based on supporting the creative people.
Thank you very much, guys. If I can unclip the mics.
I'm not against it.
There we go. Did you get that? The clipping bit? Oh, that's perfect. Okay. Whilst my colleague is setting up on the computer, let me just say, you're in for a treat. This is using modern technology, using a new way of actually getting your films funded, and also at the same time, the gentleman is actually a BAFTA award-winning director as well. So, as he's going to set up, I'm just going to get my colleague Peter Valet to stand up for a second. Peter, stand up for a second. Give Peter a round of applause. Peter's the economic attaché to Malta, and Peter's been involved in a number of companies and helping film commissioners to come to the UK and talking about what Malta has been doing to fund films and everything of that nature. So Peter, firstly, Happy New Year, young man.
Thank you.
And please tell us a little bit about what's been happening on grant funding and that sort of side in Malta for the film industry.
Sure.
Hang on for a sec. Hang on a sec.
First one. What's this? Ah, okay.
I don't know what it is, but they've told me to stick it on them.
So,
Is he okay?
I'm okay. Good,
Okay,
good.
complete amateur.
So,
I'm the indie producer. Does he look sexy? Lights, camera. Have we got the lights on him? Where's the lights?
Put the slimming mode on.
Slimming mode.
So,
the eyes, please.
first of all, Happy New Year, everyone, and good evening to you all. Thank you for having me here. Thanks, Balbir, for inviting me. What I can sort of mention on the filming sector, it's really a part and parcel of the whole industrial scene in Malta, but also here we're focusing more on the what I say is entertainment and digital innovation. So we bring all the sectors into one state of play. And in the filming, as was being said earlier, it is filming and video games. Why do we make the distinction? They are actually part and parcel, okay? So there was a debate whether one or the other, or whether AI will be taking over. It's actually an evolvement of the whole industry. Just look at automobiles, for instance. Instead of the combustion engine, now we have the electric motor. It is more or less a new way of driving us around and, of course, saving the environment. So what I want to say is, in terms of business development, we are there for films to come to Malta. I had the opportunity to speak to a few of you before the start. We have had Jurassic World Dominion, which was filmed in the city, in the capital, so in Valletta, for those of you who have seen it. We have currently Gladiator, the sequel, which is currently on show. Why are these people all coming to Malta? So we have a cash grant available for productions being done in Malta. Apart from that, we also have other incentives for people developing studios in Malta, for developing content for public dissemination. So there we have investment tax credits, we have financial incentives as well to assist you in developing your project in Malta. But specifically for films, whatever is spent in Malta, that cost element will be subject to a cash grant of a maximum of 40%. And I will not take a lot of more of your time. I think that is really, in a nutshell. And of course, those of you who have specific requests, you can all find me or text Balbir and he will share with you. Please feel free to contact me. Again, thank you for coming and thank you, Balbir, for this evening.
Thank you very much. Okay. Peter, stay where you are. A question from the audience. One question from the audience, please. Who would like to ask that? God, that hand went up so fast. Come to the front, sir. Come to the front. We should have some music, shouldn't we? If he can get to the front, he can have the question.
Putting him on the spot now.
That's what I'm making. Okay, just tell everybody who you are and the question for Peter.
Look at the camera. Look at the camera.
Yeah, thank you. So, my name is Jordan Williams. I am a independent film director and producer. I'm also doing music and fashion as well. My question was, I guess, what support is there for co-productions? For productions that are going to be based both in UK or overseas, and what kind of stuff do you offer in that side of things?
Okay.
Good question.
So,
Stay where you are.
to be honest with you, we are a bit egoistic. So we want to support those productions that happen in Malta. So to answer you, if there is a co-production, it is the element which is undertaken in Malta. So that part which is undertaken in Malta, which is supported. So if you have, let's say, a project of £1 million, which is primarily in the UK, but they do shots in Malta, the cost element of that that part which is done in Malta will be, of course, supported. Just I mentioned Jurassic World Dominion. That was the bulk of it was done in Malta, but then you have other locations as well. The same with Gladiator, but Gladiator this time it's like 85% done in Malta with a bit of 15% abroad. So really the bulk there is, what I failed to mention is that we have a top ceiling of 5 million per production. So really that is your maximum ceiling. So that is if you work it out, it will be a 20 million production just to go to the full spectrum. And we will give up to a maximum of 5 million, okay? But it covers all expenses, above the line and below the line.
Cool. Is this going to be, this is all recorded, right?
Oh, yeah, no. It's recorded on something. Here we go. Thank you very much, Peter. Round of applause to Peter. Thank you very much. Okay. Now, Sherilyn, over to you. Now, let me just tell you about this young lady first. Sherilyn I met a year ago, and we met at an NFT gallery. The NFT gallery was for the Bored Apes. Yeah, so the Bored Ape NFT gallery was opened up, and it was right near Victoria Place. Has anybody heard of the Bored Apes?
Open, yes.
Yeah, stick your hands up if you have. Okay. The man with the glasses in the middle with the white suit, can you stand up and tell everybody what the Bored Apes was?
It's a whole collection of different varieties of an ape looking very bored. You're going to pay an awful lot of money to have an NFT of your bored ape. That's it.
Okay, don't sit down yet. Don't stand up. Okay, so when you mean a lot of money, how much money was that?
Some of them will be going for millions, weren't they?
Repeat that last word.
2.3 million.
2.3 million. That's a lot of money. Well, this is where I met this young lady, and when we were there, she said to me, I've come over from Australia. I've got a Twitter account of 12,000. I'm into basically NFTs, and I want to know where I can go for different events and everything. So what we started doing was, and this is what I would say to everybody, go to Eventbrite, go to anything that's free, and turn up. You will be looked after like a messiah. We got looked after like a messiah, didn't we? Okay, so Sherilyn is also a very talented musician, stroke dancer. In fact, I think her dancing skills are absolutely phenomenal. She's a world champion at dancing. I want to let you know that on that side. But she's also a great host. So over to Sherilyn to introduce the next two speakers for us.
Thank you. Let's hear for Balbir. So I think I hit the jackpot. The first person I met when I went out to one of these free events in London. Mind you, it costs 100 grand to be a member of the Bored Ape Club. I didn't pay that. If you know Balbir, you get into places, right? All right, we have a wonderful, wonderful gentleman here who is also an award-winning director, and he's going to, yes, I know his name, so. And he's been to a few of our events. Please, he's going to tell us some always fascinating to listen to him and hear what he's working on, and he's also got lots and lots of great insight info for the industry. Please welcome Werner Schumann.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now you know my name. You call me David a few minutes ago, but the other days you always call me Werner. Just today, I don't know why. Okay. Well, I don't know why you call me David, but it's the same case of Mark Foster and Mark Forstater. No, but we'll get along. So yeah, I'm a film director, like she said. I also directed independent films. Most of my films are distributed globally. Some of my films got some awards in some important film festivals, like Sun in the Mist. We got an award at the San Sebastian Film Festival. I made another Brazilian film called Okoro. We also get award of Best Director. I mean, I got the award, not we. I got the award of Best Director. Yeah? And I also directed a film called Absolution, a hitman story. We had a global release. We released everywhere. Now, even in India, I heard that they are going to distribute in India. So we had a huge release in Japan, a big release in America, mostly Netflix, Apple TV, DVD, Blu-ray, Voodoo Fandango, that is Universal Warner chain. And yeah, so and my new film now is called The Widow's Moon. It's a drama thriller. We just completed the film in California, and I don't know what is going to happen with the film. As far as I know, it was just acquired by Paramount Plus, but just to American. The rest I have no idea. People always ask me, I have a strange accent and with a strange name. That's why he called me David, because people cannot memorize. So, yeah. Yeah, but could be David, you know. So the family of my father is from Germany. The family of my mother is from Italy, and yeah, I'm half German, like the royal family, and I'm really proud of it. And yeah, so and it's a terrible mixture actually, because the German precision trying to fight the, let's put in a better way, the laid back of Italian culture is very, very difficult, you know. I'm always trying to organize the things in a very tight schedule, you know, and my German side is always trying to be more like a La Dolce Vita, you know, more like a, you know, mangia che te fa bene, or more like, you know, il dolce far niente, that a expression that I like very much, that means the sweetness of doing nothing. Yeah? So, but it doesn't mean that the Germans are more perfect than the Italians. Absolutely not. I also came with the same cultural flaws. I call cultural flaws from Germany. For instance, recently I'm wearing Birkenstock with socks. Not today, but usually I wear it. The other day I was wearing Birkenstock with the red socks, and people were, "Oh, what are you doing?" You know. But yeah, so that's the, you know, the German side that I have. But I was actually born and raised in Brazil. That's another thing. My partner's, yeah, my partner's nephew, when he's crazy for football, when he discovered that I was born there, he said, "Oh, Pele." And I don't understand anything about football. I don't know the rules. I don't know. The only thing that I know about football is that they are chasing a ball and try to score a goal. That's the only thing that I know seriously. But he was so happy, you know. And the other guy approached me and said, "Oh, you're from Brazil. You dance samba." I said, no, my German side doesn't let me. I don't have that. You know, that's beautiful swinging samba dancing that it is required to be a samba dancer. You know, I don't have that. And then the guy said, "Ah, but you're German, so that means you're going to Oktoberfest dressed like a proper German." I say, "No, my Italian side doesn't allow me to get dressed with those ridiculous shorts that look like a schoolboy or a Boy Scout, you know. Well, holding a beer mug the size of my head, you know." No. So, you know, that's the thing, you know, and they want me to hurry up. I told you, you know. So that's basically what I'm doing, you know. So I have those sides, and people always ask me, "But what do you? Well, how many languages do you speak?" Well, I speak certainly Portuguese, I speak a little bit of Spanish, I speak a little bit of German, I speak a little bit of Italian, and a little bit of German, and German I already said, and a little bit of English. Né? But I have a problem that my brain is hard to my brain to process how many languages, and sometimes I really forget how to say some words, and automatically I replace to a German word. So it's very, very difficult sometimes for me to handle so many language, and I end up not speaking any language very well. My partner says that I suffer from CPP, that is a chronic preposition problem. So like, well, you will notice when I'm speaking that I have this problem. So, and yeah, so I have this multicultural background, and I use this in my films. So. When I'm doing a film, when you have a paper in front of you and you have to transform it into a film, I have to give the characters different perspectives, and that's what one of the plus that I have when I'm directing a film. So you have to, to use this to give different points of view. But mostly, yeah. So I'm very happy doing this, and yeah. And regarding the film production, I'm also developing a cover project with Mark and Nathan to Dreambird. We have a beautiful romantic comedy that is coming soon. We are going to produce with some major stars. Soon we're going to tell the name and we're going to announce properly. And yeah, so filmmaking, like Mark said, is very, very difficult, because when you have a dream, it is so hard to raise the funds. Is when you think, oh, raise the funds is one of the most difficult. No, we always end up raising money for our films, be $1 million or $2 million, whatever. And then when we go to the production side, we always think, well, now we have the money, we're going to make the movie. It's going to be a disaster. It's going to be a hell, lots of problems. We plan a shooting of a film like a German, so the spreadsheets of our films looks like my nonna's lasagna, But in the middle of our production, it goes awry, it goes terribly wrong. And thank God, my Italian side is always used to chaos. So when we have a problem in any production, we can solve it in a very easy way. For the Germans, it's very difficult to solve because they have to follow that. It doesn't work. We embrace the chaos and always work. But when we finish the film, I'm finished soon. When we finish the film, we think, oh my God, I made a great film. But then we think, my dream is done, But no, we have the biggest problems, like Mark said. Distribution is the biggest problem we all have. Making a film is like having a baby. Then you sign with a sales agent. The sales agent is like to give your baby to adoption. You don't know what is going to happen with your film. You don't know. They won't treat your film like a special film because they have 20 films. And you hope that they will give you some special to your baby, but usually not. Like I said, my new film, The Widow's Moon, I heard from them that it's sold to Paramount Plus. I don't know what is going to happen in the next 10 years. So I have no idea. So distribution, that's why this initiative from Nathan and Mark and doing the Dreambird is something amazing. So yeah, so that's it, but we have to keep fighting. Martin Scorsese used to say that 90% of the films made, they were designed to be a flop, and that's true. Even most of his films are a flop. But we make movies because we want to make movies, because we love it. We want to exchange cultures. That's the universal way that we find to know different cultures. And that's priceless. That's why we make movies. We are not interested if it is difficult, it is the money or the distribution. We always find a way. Okay, thank you very much. That's my.
Thank you very much.